So today I'm gonna tell y'all how I passed the Hesi A2 in 4 days. I'm gonna do a little deep dive of how I passed, why I only had 4 days to pass, what sections I had to take, and what I used to study. So we're just gonna hop right into it. First of all, I only have 4 days because I applied to my nursing school. It was Monday morning. And they said, okay, now that your application is in, we want you to take your first attempt at the Hesi on Friday. Monday, Friday. So basically, I had the rest of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to take the test for Friday morning. So they wanted me to get in as early as possible because I was starting close to the start date of the session. I believe I started applying like in June, early June, and my first session started in July. So they just wanted to make sure everything was in, all my paperwork, my application, my testing results, and everything like that were in. So I'm like, interesting. Mind you, I, for a while, knew I wanted to do nursing school, but it kind of just like hit me like, okay, I want to do this now. If I don't do it now, I feel like I'm never going to do it. So I kind of just jumped right into it. So I really didn't know anything about the Hesi or really anything pertaining to applying to nursing school, how much it took, really. Like, that was a whole lot. And if you want me to make a video about the application process and just like how to get through that, I can definitely do that. So comment below. But yeah, so I had 4 days. So immediately I started doing research. I'm a Virgo and I'm just very, very type A. So I immediately started doing research, like how do I pass the Hesi? What are some things that I have to do? And oh yeah, let me tell you guys exactly what sections I had to take. Now, this is not how it works for everybody. I mean, I fortunately didn't have to take like math or anything, but my Hesi required me to take biology, vocabulary, and anatomy and physiology. Oh, I'm wrong. I had to take anatomy and physiology, biology, reading, and vocabulary. So it's reading comprehension. So yeah, so those 4 sections. Thankfully, I didn't have to take math, chemistry, none of that. But I have not been in school. You okay? Yeah. I had not been in school since 2019. I left that spring session. So it's 2024. So I have not been in the mode to study, do school, or anything like that. So I'm literally starting from scratch. And I was worried. I was very worried. I really wanted to pass this with my first attempt because I really, really wanted to get into the July session. It just lined up perfectly with timing. And like I said, I really need to get on a roll. Like I wanted to start, so I didn't quit. So I immediately, like I said, started looking up how to pass the test. First, I went to YouTube to like learn how to study. So that is the first resource I will give you. This is the video I watched to help me study and retain knowledge. So that's that. I also link everything down. My daughter's over there, just so you guys know. I also link everything down below. But there are literally only 2 Moody? Can you shh, please? Because I'm talking to my friends. I'm trying to help my friends pass the Hesi in their first attempt. Is that okay? Okay, cool. So there are literally only 2 resources that you're going to need to pass. The first one is this website. I will also put it on the screen. And also all of my tips or hacks or whatever are free because I don't have the money to play around. Like, I really don't. I'm sorry. So I used the free version of Nurse Hub. They have everything. They have math, they have reading comprehension, vocabulary, anatomy and physiology, biology, grammar, chemistry, and physics. So they have literally everything, and they have 3 practice tests online. You can do a paid version. I'm not really sure how much it costs, but you can look it up. I mean, I didn't pay for it, so I just used the free ones. I also used, I guess this is 3 resources then. I also used the just regular Hesi A2 practicetest.com website. That's also free. I'm just trying to see if there is. Okay, no, yeah, this is also free. They have free practice test. Come on, come over here. Come over this way. Of course, if you want to do paid versions, if you think that'll help you better or whatever, that's totally cool. Like I said, I did pass my first attempt in 4 days of studying, and I only used free practice tests. Sorry, I had to pause for a second because she doesn't want me to be great, but okay, I don't even know where I was. Okay, so yeah, those 2 websites, I will link them down below. I'll put like what they look like on the screen, but they have free practice tests. I took them over and over and over and over and over again. And also what I did was, since there were 4 sections, I broke them up over the 4 days. Really, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I love reading. I read all the time. So reading comprehension was not a fear of mine. I think that's the only one that wasn't a fear of mine. So I didn't really study too much. Of course, I took a couple practice tests, but I didn't dedicate a whole day to it. I dedicated a whole day to anatomy and physiology and biology. And then that last day, I split up the two of them because those are my weak points, if we're being honest. So I would just really like look at what you're good at, and you can do that by taking like a free overall practice test. And once you kind of see your results, like a diagnostic kind of, once you see what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, then you can just go based off that, of course. So if you're not good at reading comprehension but killing it in biology, then don't study as much for biology if you feel like you don't need it. I would definitely still take a couple practice tests of everything just to be safe, but just to kind of get a format of like what the test is like. But you know, so, and of course, you know, this is if you're down to crunch time, down to the wire, you're watching this. The longer you have to take the test, like, of course, use that time to study as many days or weeks or months or whatever you need. The longer you have, the better, of course. But like I said, if you're down to the wire, it's crunch time. This is how you can still pass on your first attempt. So, yes, I would take a diagnostic test. Then you can take the free little practice sectional test on these websites. And then Quizlet. Quizlet is your best friend. Quizlet is the hidden gem. Quizlet is the answer to all of your problems. Go on Quizlet. I will put down below the links for the 4. Sorry, I am a mom. I am a mom in nursing school, so you're going to hear a little bit of chatter in the background. But Quizlet is your best friend. I'm going to put down below the 4 links to the 4 flashcard sets or whatever that I used to study. Of course, there are more. Scour Quizlet if you want to find what best fits you, but I just used the ones that I felt were best for me and that had the most questions. I went over those. Like if I was not writing out flashcards from the questions that I answered, I was on Quizlet. Like if I was in the car, on the go, or right before bed or whatever the case was, and I didn't have my flashcards with me, I was on Quizlet. I do think it is beneficial when you are taking these practice exams online to take them over and 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 over. Like there's never too many to take, really. You can take them over and over. I would do that. And also when you're starting out, I would write down what you don't know. Write down what you don't know. Write down the answer. Put those on flashcards. Answer those. Look deeper into it. If it's something you really don't understand, but you're like, okay, this is coming up a lot, just do a quick YouTube search. Look it up on Google. What is this topic? So that you have like a kind of general understanding of that. I think that would be very helpful. So between the free practice exams online on these websites and Quizlet, I really felt like I was gaining a deep understanding. Like I was able to answer all those questions. Now, I know the websites update them kind of just basic general knowledge. This is general knowledge, like the anatomy and physiology, biology. There's stuff that you might learn in like high school or like, I guess things that you should know getting prepared to go into college or nursing school, just from what I've gathered. But I mean, that doesn't mean it's not hard, you know? And I feel like if you have to take other sections like math or whatever the case may be, I do still feel like this will be beneficial because you're essentially just still taking these different study materials and breaking them down into sections per day or per hour or per week or however you break it down depending on how much time you have. I would definitely map out when you're starting to study versus when your test is and like break it down evenly so you can evenly study each section and just keep practicing. Like repetition really will help you here, but it's definitely nerve-wracking. But yes, those are the resources that I used to help me pass Hesi A2 in 4 days for my first attempt. And I would just say some advice outside of the resources. Like I said, everything is free. Everything is easy to access as long as you have internet and a device to access the internet on. And you really have to go into this like not stressed out. I would say like my biggest tips to actually get through it are to not stress out. After you exhaust taking the test and you just feel like, okay, I know all the answers to all these tests. Obviously, it's not going to be word for word how the test is that you're taking, but it'll help you get a general idea. I did see some repeat questions from the Quizlet and what I took online. I don't know if it'll still be like that or how often they update it, but I did see some very similar questions or questions on the practice test that helped me answer questions on the actual exam. So it's not all like verbatim, obviously, but it is very helpful. And like I said, these resources are all free. They're easy to access. So I would not stress. Once you exhaust all your options, at some point it's like, okay, I did my best. I am going to go in this. I'm going to get a full night's sleep before. I'm going to eat a good breakfast before. and I'm just gonna do this because I can do it. Like, obviously I'm put here for a reason. I know I can succeed. I know I can achieve this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And I mean, I don't know if the policy is different per school or whatever. You might not get more than one attempt. You might have to wait a certain amount of time. I'm not really sure. But just tell yourself you're gonna do it in the first try. Like, I know that sounds easier said than done, but you have to believe in yourself. No one's gonna believe in yourself more than you can believe in yourself. So literally just put your all into it, and you're gonna do great, and you're gonna pass on your first try, and you're gonna get into nursing school, and you're gonna be a kick-ass nurse, and life is gonna be great. But yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about that because I was so proud of myself when I woke up. I took the test very early in the morning on that Friday, and I think I got my results back immediately. I don't think like after I pressed done, but I think they emailed me my results. I didn't have to wait like over the weekend or anything. I was so proud of myself. Like I said, I literally was like starting from zero, ground level, like -10. I had not been in school in years. I had not studied in years. I hadn't picked up a pencil to write anything down in years, like in terms of vocabulary or biology or anatomy and physiology. Like, that just was not my thing. So I was at the bottom of the bottom. So if you have even a little bit of experience in school or learning or education or whatever the case may be going into this, you're already miles ahead of me. So I know you can do it. But do not be scared. Do not be stressed out. Obviously be like stressed a healthy amount, but not nothing crazy. And yes, you are going to be able to pass, and it's going to feel so good. I hope these resources helped. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. I respond to all of my comments. Or if you want me to make a more in-depth video, I guess. I don't really know what else I would say. But if you have any specific questions, I would be happy to help. She's trying to come over here, so let me wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Vlogmas video. I know this is a little bit different than what I normally post, but I did just want to start giving a little bit of insight into my life as a nursing student and a mom. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow. Duh.